If I die from a heart attack, it's gonna be because of my fucking kids. I just got done fucking crying my eyes out of fear because I left, my sister was here, and I left to go take some money off so I can give her some money so she can go get some diapers and stuff for me. I let her know I was leaving, I left, and on my way back, she called me and was like, hey, did you come back home? Because she thought I came back home because the kids got quiet. But I'm like, no, I didn't come back home. What's going on? Tell me why she told me my kids are not in the fucking house. Nowhere to be found in the house. When I tell you I panicked, I fucking ran home. They were walking to a damn park. 2 years old and 1 year old. About to be 3, about to be 2. Walking by themselves to a park. I can't whoop them because they're not going to understand, oh, I'm getting a whooping because I went outside. They just going to know, oh, I'm my butt hurt. Mommy just whooped me. My butt hurt. They're not going to understand why I'm whooping them. So now I'm crying because there's nothing I can do besides keep an eye on them. They don't know not to go outside. They don't know they can possibly get snatched away. My kids are going to be the fucking death of me. So now I gave my sister some money. I gave my sister the money that I was supposed to be taking off. And now I had to give her extra money because now I need a fucking lock to put on the inside of my front door so they can stop leaving out the fucking house. I'm so frustrated. I'm tired. I need a fucking partner. I need a partner.
You know, I always say that I believe that the woke, that women, that, the feminist men really don't care about people, right? They don't, because the things that they spout is just counterproductive for people, right? Here's an example of a woman who, again, she's pretty much saying how life is hard. Being a single mom is hard, right? And she's like saying how much she wanted how much she needs a partner, right? And here we have people like, let's say Kevin Samuels, right? Who is a man that wanted to help women, right? Teach them, guide them in the way that you are better than what you are doing to yourself. Do not carry before you marry, right? Don't. Okay? And let's say even in a sense, right? I want to go even deeper, right? Do not have a baby with a man that you are not 90, maybe 80, hopefully 100% sure that he will be a man that will be a father, that will be a good father, a man that will be there for you, right? A man that wants to be there for his children. Don't, right? A man that, that you want to be there with, right? Not just that he'll be a good father, a man that you want to be with. Don't just have children with men that he's charming. He's good with a D, whatever others you want to pick. Pick a man that you can see yourself being with for the rest of your life. Especially if you are going to have kids, right? People don't understand why marriage exists. Marriage exists for that partnership. So both parties can take the weight, the responsibility of a family. Right? I said it, right? You have two things. Pick a man that you want to be with for the rest of your life, especially if you want to have a family with. And pick a man that you know with so much certainty that he would be a good father. Right? Hopefully both or either or. I don't tell you what to do, but I mean, those are messages that many men, right, are trying to say, are trying to preach to women, right? That's trying to be helpful, not being sexist, toxic, misogynist, all that stuff. No, that's like, you know what? This is for you. Because at the end of the day, who's complaining? Women. Women are complaining. Women are they are stressed out. They're the ones who are complaining, saying all this stuff. This video shows it. It's not the man. It's not whoever fathered her children is complaining. He's not. So at the end of the day, who's going to suffer? It's going to be the kids. And it's going to be the woman. But no one's speaking the truth. And no one's speaking out. So that's why I hate, modern women and feminist men.
Alright, you wanna know who hurt me? My mom hurt me. As you see me in this picture, I was in prison. As you see me now, I'm working a security job. I changed my life for myself. But when I was a teenager and I was running these streets, it's because this woman was too busy working and caring about herself. She didn't put me in no sports. She didn't put me in no after-school programs. She didn't put me in nothing that was going to help my life. So I was running the streets with my gang, robbing people. You feel me? That's what hurt me. And that's what's hurting a lot of these kids getting raised by single mothers who think they know it all. She moved me from my dad.
This young man, I'm confused, y'all. This young man said that his mom, was a single mom. And he said this lady spent all her time working. She didn't put him in no extracurricular activities. She didn't put him in no sports. Not once did he consider maybe she couldn't afford it. Maybe she could only afford the money to pay the bills because this country has consistently had pay inequality for black women, with black women being extremely lowly paid compared to other races of women as well as men. And then because he was left unattended because his mama was working to provide for his ass, he decides to go look for a surrogate family like a lot of children do and find his way into a gang, right? And they become his OGs, right? Now, who were the leaders of the gang that were then influencing this young man in his life that led him to prison? Would it possibly be men? His mama is sitting there in the pictures of him in prison. You know how many peoples do not ever come visit them in prison at all? And then he has the fantastical view, the fantasy view that a lot of black men and black women have in the black community, where he thinks that he was taken away from his father instead of considering that his father might have gotten the fuck up and went on about his damn day like so many people's fathers have done, because a lot of mothers have been telling these kids that this is probably what's going on. And I say, they don't want us to disparage, fathers. But y'all telling them these fantastical ass stories, oh, your father loves you in his absence, when you know good and goddamn well he doesn't, leads to this shit. It leads to them not appreciating you. It leads to them being freaking ungrateful. And they're wondering why there are black women in the black community that are saying, stop giving birth to them, right? Now, I don't particularly agree with that sentiment, but I understand why they're saying it. And it is the pure ungratefulness, lack of appreciation to get around these red pillars who pretty much lie to them about their damn childhood. He not one time said he was hungry, not one time said he was neglected, not one time said his mama was even beating on him. He said her only sin was she worked a lot and didn't put him in extracurricular activities. It was his choice to join a gang. He could have took his ass to the library. He didn't. He took his ass to the streets. And that was his decision. His mama ain't got nothing to do with that.
This woman's ridiculous, right? This is why, right, men don't share their feelings. This woman understands nothing, and she's in her aggressive feelings, right? You say this mother, right, is busy working. Where's the accountability where this mother should never became a single mother, right? If you, I always say, don't have a child, there are responsibilities that come with having a child. That's why don't pick a man that won't be there for his child. You picked it, right? Women have many ways. Contraception, or there's abortion that women are so adamant for that they're fighting for the right for abortion, right? And there's adoption. Okay? If you think you cannot handle having a child, don't have a child. It is not the child's fault how you raise them, right? It is 100% the mom's fault. You say you go to work all the time. Well, so the child has no say in you going to work. Yes, you are trying to survive, trying to let your child survive as well. But again, that's not the child's responsibility. Child's responsibility to a certain age before they're 18 is to be a child. You chose to birth a child. Okay? Here's a delusional women, right, that men are dealing with, right? And in this case, black men are dealing with. And I gotta say, I date black women, right? And I have my fair share of issues and things that I've gone through. Okay? You don't understand. You pick who you have a child with. Okay? If he wasn't good enough to be a child's father, then you should never had a child with that person. Okay? At the end of the day, it's about accountability. I believe I'm a person who believes accountability 100%. Right? It has to be about accountability. Everything you make in this world, every action you make, there's either good or bad consequences to it. Okay? If you raise a child, in the hood, well, there are dangers, right? There's no fault in this young man trying to look for guidance, look for a family outside of his single mother family that, she was barely there for him. I mean, I would hope, children will have a little bit of accountability, but no one's guiding them. No one's teaching them right from wrong. Then what can you say, right? Although these men in gangs, they're no better. So really, they're not. Why even say about them? Why even talk about that they're men? So what? They live the exact same life that this young man lived, right? A single mother that's not there, or that's not focused on them, that's not there to guide them and teach them. And that a single mother that chose a man that's good enough not to be a father. Again, there's no accountability, right? If the men are terrible. So you chose to continue having a child. That child is on earth because you chose it to be on earth. If the father wasn't good and you chose to still continue having the child, it's your responsibility. It is your fault. Period. No one's else's fault because you chose to have the child there. So you have to take the responsibility, right? Even he said it, right? He knew his rights and wrongs. He's picking himself back up. That's his accountability. Where, you know what? He's done wrong, right? In his past when he was a child. Now he's trying to pick himself up, being a security guard, trying to be a, productive human being. That doesn't change his childhood, right? So I give this man credit, right? For knowing his faults and picking himself back up. That's 100%. This man is an amazing man. That, you know what? No one's perfect, right? So he knew his faults, but he is trying to be the best he can be by, being a productive citizen, right? He's not out there dealing drugs, having gunfights, being still in gangs as an adult. So I commend him on what he's done, right? I hope he will continue and do better in his life, but that doesn't change his childhood. And doesn't change women like this, right? Don't understand accountability. She's just most likely another single mother that don't understand accountability, right? You chose the terrible men you have children with, period, right? So what happens after that, it's your fault, right? Because if you chose to continue this path, no one to blame but yourself. And it's ridiculous that this woman is so blinded by her own delusions that she can't listen to nothing else. She can't see other things, right? And she only thinks about echo chambers, the things that just makes her feel better, right? Take accountability, right? You weren't, single mothers are just not there for their children, right? And it's hard, right? And I know it, my mom was like that, but that doesn't change the fact that, she wasn't there, I didn't have no extra activity, like after school activities, nothing special, I didn't turn into gang life, but that doesn't necessarily change that it wasn't the best childhood that I would hoped for. That it would have been nice that, she had a better man for me to look up to, for to share in the responsibilities of raising a family. That's the point. Just take some accountability.